have combined to win 13 state championships all time. 4 programs that are perennial contenders in Texas in the 3A rankings, playing a doubleheader tonight here in Brock. And first up, a matchup of 2 of the top 10 girls basketball teams in the state rankings, as number 9 Brock hosts number 6 Peaster next on Saturday Night Hoops. And with that, we welcome you inside the gymnasium here at Brock High School. Mike Leslie here with you. Heckma Harrison will be along shortly. This is a first in WFAA history. A girls basketball, boys basketball doubleheader. The first girls sporting event we've ever broadcast here on the WFAA digital network. And we do have 2 fantastic games on deck tonight to break the seal on our girls-boys doubleheader, what we hope will become a habit here on the WFAA YouTube channel and on WFAA Plus. What a pair of matchups this is tonight. First with this girls matchup, a rematch of a game from 29 days ago at Peaster. That game was a 1-point game at halftime, but Peaster would pull away in the second half. 2 big runs, one midway through the third quarter, one early on in the fourth quarter to open up what was an 18-point final margin at 53-35. But again, a 1-point game at halftime, and you ask both of these coaches, they'll tell you foul trouble for Brock was instrumental in why that game got a little sideways for the Eagles. You can imagine Brock is eager to get them on their home floor tonight in front of what is expected to be a raucous crowd. Both of these coaches have told us how this is kind of like their own little version of Duke Carolina here between Brock and Peaster. This is a very intense rivalry, and Brock is excited to have Peaster on their home floor tonight. Players to watch in this one. First for the Peaster Greyhounds, and it is their senior guard, Peyton Hall. This is a young woman who can really fill it up. Averages about 20 a game, but has hit 42 at one point in her career. Committed to Abilene Christian. Also a really good defender. You see long arms, really good at getting in the passing lanes and creating havoc for the opposing team's offense. She's going to try and do that tonight against this Brock team. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, Abby Mathis, their senior guard. What a story this young woman is. Tore all 3 of the ligaments in her knee early last season. So she only just recently got back on the floor earlier this season, but has made it all the way back from that gruesome injury to the point where now she is one of the senior leaders for this Brock team, a Brock team that is very, very young. Of the 9 women on young women on this roster, 6 of them are underclassmen, but Abby Mathis, one of the senior leaders for this team, and she's certainly looking to lead her team to a win tonight. You look at the way that the season has gone for these 2 programs to this point. Again, Peaster has the 1 win against Brock earlier this season. They've won 7 straight, all over district foes, all by double digits. Haven't lost since their game against Jim Ned on December 30th. Meanwhile, for Brock, a 5-game win streak coming in since that loss to Peaster. Now they've got Peaster on their home floor, and they're going to look for a little bit of revenge tonight here in this girls-boys doubleheader. We are just getting started here in Brock. When we come back, we jump it up at the center circle. The first girls basketball broadcast in our history, and it is just moments away. Number 9 Brock and number 6 Peaster next on Saturday Night Hoops.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA. In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA. That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting. Dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA. In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
From Brock High School in Parker County, it's Saturday Night Hoops. The top two teams in District 8 3A squaring off as Brock hosts Peaster in Game 1 of tonight's girls-boys doubleheader. Starters tonight, first for the Peaster Greyhounds, Bozier, Smith, Ruddy, Robertson, and Hull. And for the Brock Eagles, Walker, Thompson, Hyatt, Mathis, and Matthews. Peaster head coach Garrett Hilton in his third year as Peaster's head coach. Alex Stevenson, the head man for the Brock Eagles, in his second year at the helm. The rivalry between these two programs, we mentioned it briefly off the top, is thick. Separated by just 20 miles, Brock to the south side of Weatherford, Peaster to the north side. These are two programs that are very used to being the class of 3A hoops, certainly in this area, sometimes statewide, and year after year, they go back and forth to determine who the best team is at minimum in Parker County. Brock has the historic edge in this matchup, 8 championships to their name, including a run of 5 straight from 2009 to 2013. They lead the all-time series 23-10. Peaster, though, has had the upper hand lately, and this year won the first meeting by running away for an 18-point win. They've now won 5 straight in this series, and you got to imagine they would like to back that performance up with a win here tonight and sweep Brock for a 3rd straight season. We are thrilled to have you with us here in Parker County. The JV boys game that preceded this girls game ran just a hair long, leading this game to tip off here just a little after 6:30. It's going to end up being 6:32 now. It's scheduled to be a 6:15 tip with the boys to follow at 7:30. You can only imagine the boys game will be a little bit later tonight as well, but that's just fine. We'll be here for all of it. Do let us know in the YouTube comments on the WFAA YouTube channel where you're tuning in from tonight, who you're tuning in to see. If you've got a favorite player on one of these two teams, if you're perhaps an alum of one of these two schools, let us know these things in the comments and we'll try and shout you out as we make our way through the evening. But we are just about ready to roll here in Parker County. Brock and Peaster, the number 6 Peaster Greyhounds on the road looking for a season sweep over the number 9 Brock Eagles. Mike Leslie here with you again. Heckma Harrison will be along shortly. He's burning up the interstate right now and will be here momentarily to help chronicle what should be a really, really special night of basketball here in Parker County. At the center circle for these two teams to jump it up, it's Hayden Walker for the Brock Eagles. And our player to watch for the Peaster Greyhounds, Peyton Hall. And we are underway here in Parker County. It'll be Peaster with the first possession of the basketball game.
It's basketball time at Brock. Let's go, Eagles!
Brock coming out in man-to-man as expected. Hall giving it on the right wing here to Landry Robertson. Now back up top. They wheel it around for Miranda Smith. 3 ball on the way for Landry Robertson, and it'll fall. Peaster's going to come out and press. Both of these teams do like to pressure, especially early on in a basketball game, try and get their opponent out of rhythm. At the very least, they're trying to make sure that the sets that their opponent practiced all week long don't get utilized too frequently within the flow of the game. Nice drive down the lane, but the layup won't go for Hallie Hyatt, and back the other way comes Peaster. Baseline jumper for Peyton Hall. Misses long, but the offensive board and the putback will go for Cody Ruddy. On the baseline, some trouble. Peaster with the steal momentarily, but they were out of bounds. It'll stay Brock basketball. Brock looking to set the offense here. Hallie Hyatt with it. Taken from behind, Peyton Hall with the rip, and it's going to be a 7-0 start for the Peaster Greyhounds. Timeout. Alex Stevenson, what a start for the Peaster Greyhounds, jumping all over Brock here on the road. It started with the 3 ball from Landry Robertson to open the scoring, then the offensive board and the putback by Cody Ruddy. And now the rip and the run out, the lay-in for Peyton Hall, who averages 20 a game. And Peaster with a fantastic start on the road, leading 7-0. Again, the last time these two teams met, it was a 1-point game at halftime, 22-21. Peaster led that game. Talk to both of these coaches, Garrett Hilton and Alex Stevenson. They'll both tell you that the runs that Peaster went on in the second half of that game, mid-third quarter and then early fourth, were aided by the fact that Brock got in some foul trouble. But that's just a throwaway right there, right through the hands of Hayden Walker. And it's going to be Peaster ball yet again. This early run in this game, nothing to do with foul trouble for anyone, just Peaster starting the night fantastically. In the corner, 3 ball on the way for Miranda Smith will go. 10-0 Peaster. Miranda Smith, the twin sister of Megan Smith. You'll see both of them on the floor quite a bit tonight. Megan Smith, one of the reserves for this Peaster Greyhound team. Now another turnover created by the pressure at midcourt. Ruddy pulls it out. 3 ball on the way for Brooklyn Bozier. Misses long. Brock is going to try and steady themselves here in the early going. Hayden Walker gives it back in the corner for Kira Matthews. Matthews with a nice move to get baseline, but the 8-footer misses well long. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay on this end. But a 10-0 start for the Peaster Greyhounds. 4 different ladies scoring already. Hallie Hyatt will set the offense here for Brock. Matthews and Hyatt are their 2 main weapons offensively, in addition to Abby Mathis. Nice move into the lane for Kira Matthews, but it won't go. Corner 3 on the way. Another one goes for Landry Robertson, and it's 13-0 Greyhounds. Just over 3 minutes in here in Brock, and Peaster has jumped all over the Eagles. The trap leads to another turnover. The steal by Smith in transition to Bozier. She'll leave it for Hull, who has it taken away. Nice work, though, to get back on top of it there by Bozier, and Peaster maintains possession. Cross-court skip, Bozier for a triple. 16-0 Peaster. Nobody saw this coming at all. The absolute dream start for Garrett Hilton, the Peaster Greyhounds head coach, as they have jumped all over the Brock Eagles. 16-0 the tally. Landry Robertson got it started with a triple on the game's first possession. The offensive board and the putback for Cody Ruddy to make it 5-0. The steal by Peyton Hall, and she had the easy layup in transition to make it 7-zip. And then 3 straight three-pointers, one from Miranda Smith, a second tonight from Landry Robertson, and then one just a moment ago to get Brooklyn Bozier, one of the top players in the area herself, on the board, and it's 16-0 in favor of Peaster. This is a Peaster program that has had back-to-back seasons of a lot of success, going to the regional semifinals in each of the last 2 years, losing to Idalou a year ago, losing to Brownfield the year prior. 34-5 last year and 14-0 in district play. They are insistent on making this the year where they push through that regional semifinal ceiling. If they play like they have over the first 3.5 minutes of this basketball game, I think they've got a pretty good chance to do exactly that. Brock trying to steady themselves somehow. Matthews with a nice move in the lane, but it won't fall. And it's Peaster basketball once again. Midway point of quarter number 1. We do appreciate you all for joining us on the WFAA YouTube channel and WFAA Plus. If you're joining us on the YouTube channel, please let us know in the YouTube comments where you guys are tuning in from tonight. And if you've got a favorite player on either of these two teams. Michael Hall, a regular viewer here on our WFAA digital network, as the free throw goes for Bozier to extend this seismic lead. We took a straw poll of everyone in the gym prior to the tip tonight. Nobody would have predicted this. But it's 18-0 Peaster. In transition, Brock trying to get something going here. Trapped in the corner, they're able to squeeze it out of there. Cross court, 3 on the way for Kimberly Thompson, and that will go. And finally, Brock is on the board. Michael Hall says, holy smokes, Peaster is killing it. You are not kidding. 18-3 to start the basketball game. Down the lane, that one won't go though for Cody Ruddy. Brock throws it away though. Ruddy there for the steal. Bozier. Nice look underneath from Miranda Smith to Peyton Hall. A foul here against Peaster as they tried to set up the press once again. Catherine 2104 says go Peaster, watching from Addison, Texas tonight. Mike Halfley says go Greyhounds. Loose ball tied up, jump ball, it'll stay on this end. But Garrett Hilton has got to be thrilled with what his team has done here through a little over 5 minutes of action. Matthews into the lane, Back iron won't go. Just nothing wants to cooperate right now for the Brock Eagles. Hull in transition. Hesitation down the lane. What a great finish. Another steal. In transition, here comes Robertson. Bozier for three. And that'll go to 25-3. The onslaught continues. Chris Venata in the comments says they're watching from Lowry Crossing. Says they love our broadcast here on the WFAA Digital Network. We appreciate that, Chris, very much. Keeley Sears says, go Lady Hounds. Yeah, they're going. They're going real well so far. 25-3. Bozier now with 8 on the day. And Peyton Hall with 6 of her own. Baseline inbound here for Brock. Knocked away, saved back in bounds, but right to the waiting arms of Hull, and she'll run in transition again. Down the lane, Euro step, layup goes. There's a reason why Alex Stevenson, the head coach of Brock, told us earlier this week that he feels like Peyton Hall may be the best player in 3A across the state. She showed as much here in the early going. She's got 8 now. 3 misses well short there off the hands of Hallie Hyatt. And here come the Greyhounds again. In transition, nice look. Layup falls for Landry Robertson. This is unbelievable. This was a 1-point game at halftime the last time they met at Peaster. 22-21 to start the third quarter. It's 29-3, and we've only played 7 minutes of basketball. There's stunned silence on both sides of the gym here tonight. Not just the Brock fans, I think the Peaster fans are stunned into silence. Peaster came to put on a show tonight. Bozier down the lane, kick in the corner, 3 on the way, misses long off the hands of Hall. Under 40 seconds to play here in the first, and Brock has it. Spinning through the lane, the layup will not go. Under 30 seconds left. Bozier in transition, splits the defense. Layup too strong, offensive rebound though, and the putback will go for Landry Robertson. Head of steam there for Hyatt, leaves it for Hayden Walker. The triple won't go. Offensive rebound, Abby Mathis. Kicks in the corner. Down to 3-2, they don't see it. Matthews doesn't know how much time is left, didn't get the shot off, and that's how the first quarter will come to an end. An absolutely dominant first period of play from the Peaster Greyhounds. They lead it 31-3 at the end of 1.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
If you're just joining us, yes, that really is the score. Shocking first period of play began between what are very clearly the 2 best teams within District 8 3A. There is no equivocation on that. Both of these teams have blown out basically everybody else across the district all season long. These 2 teams played a close game for about 2.5 quarters at Peaster earlier this season. Again, 22-21 was the score to start the second half. This game does not look like that game. Not in any way, shape, or form. 31-3. Peaster with the lead. And they have possession here to start quarter number 2. Into the lane. The layup off the left hand won't go for Megan Smith. And here comes Brock. You can't even imagine what Alex Stevenson must have had to say to his team between periods to try and get them to at least attempt to start figuring things out in this basketball game. Staring in the face of a 28-point deficit. Hayden Walker picked up her dribble, has to give it off here to Abby Mathis, and she'll look to reset the offense. Matthews into the lane, kick out. The floater won't go for Hayden Walker. Bozier in the corner, Robertson. Already with a couple of threes on the day for her. Megan Smith fires the 3. Good rebound by Matthews, and here she comes in transition. Matthews down the lane, layup too strong. The combination of Brooklyn Bozier and Peyton Hall has been too much tonight. That one, though, too strong from Bozier, and here comes Brock. Matthews backing her way into the defense. Kick out, 3 on the way for Hallie Hyatt, misses long. And you've got to imagine anybody for the Brock Eagles right now is probably feeling like they need to press a little bit, that they need to force a little bit to try and get back into this basketball game. Cross court. Knocked away and stolen away. It's Hyatt with the rip. She'll give up ahead here for Walker. Walker down the lane. Lefty layup won't go. Joanne Parker in the YouTube comments says, way to go, Lady Hounds. Cross court, 3 on the way once again for Robertson. Misses short. Just a little over 10 minutes into this basketball game, and it has been all Peaster so far. No points from either team yet in this second quarter. A chance now for Brock to change that at the free throw line as Hallie Hyatt will head to the charity stripe. Michael Hall in the YouTube comments says, wow, this resembles a football blowout at the moment. Even a football-like score at 31-3. First free throw rattles out for Hyatt. Jason Kyle says, go Peaster, class of 2010, cheering on the Greyhounds from Fort Worth. Second free throw for Hyatt. Rattles home. Nice look underneath. Extra pass in the corner for a 3. That'll miss short. Rattles around, and the rebound pulled down by Kira Matthews. Matthews chased from behind. Cross court, 3 on the way. Long off the hands of Hayden Walker. Bozier gives in the corner, 3 on the way for Smith. Tipped out. Saved inbounds on the far sideline. Nice look underneath for Smith, and the layup will fall. Megan Smith and Miranda Smith, the two twins. Megan wearing 3, Miranda wearing 13. Megan with the layup there. Nice look down the lane. The lefty layup, though, won't go for Kylie Allen. Bozier for 3. Long pass up ahead, but too long for Hallie Hyatt. Monica Weber says she's known many players from both schools. Tonight, they're just basketball fans in Sanger, Texas, not cheering for either team. We appreciate you tuning in, Monica. Again, let us know in the YouTube comments where you're tuning in from tonight, who your favorite player is on either of these two teams, if you are rooting for one of these two teams to win. Nice hands to take that away. Hyatt got her hands on it. 2-on-1 here in transition. The layup will go, plus the foul, and that's the most life we've seen from Brock thus far. To the charity stripe goes Kylie Allen. Completes the and one, and it's 33-7. If you're just joining us, Peaster jumped out to a 31-3 lead at the end of one period. Just pounced all over Brock. Started the game on an 18-0 run. Three-pointer on the way. Smith misses short. Rebound though, chased down on the backside by Ruddy. Peaster just firing on all cylinders tonight. The look underneath for Hall. Double teamed, has it stripped away. Kick out, Smith goes baseline. Leaves for Hall, tied up, jump ball. It'll be Brock basketball. Again, this is the first of two broadcasts tonight here on the WFAA Digital Network. The girls' game here right now, and then the boys' game will tip, initially scheduled for 7:30. Will likely be a bit later than that, as this game was pushed later by the JV game that preceded it. The boys' matchup is expected to be fantastic. They've played twice this year, both teams winning one game, both games decided by a single point. Three in the corner, misses long, offensive rebound though for Brock. Tied up, ripped away. Peaster wanted a jump ball call, they don't get it, but the layup won't go for Hayden Walker. Even when Brock gets a break, they can't get the layup to fall and capitalize upon it. Hall into the lane. Three on the way, misses long off the hands of J.C. McLeod and the defensive board rather by Hayden Walker, and she draws the foul. That is the fifth foul of the period on the Peaster Greyhounds, so no free throws just yet for Brock. Only one foul in the period against the Eagles. Nice backdoor look on the cut, but the layup won't go for Hyatt. The leave for Robertson for three. (36-7) the score. All Peaster here in this first half. Knocked away. The steal by Bozier. All alone in the front court. The layup goes and the foul. What a half from Brooklyn Bozier, the senior guard. Ashlyn Welch checks into the game, one of the reserves that just came on for the Eagles, one of their key shooters. They could use some threes from her to try and pick their way back into this basketball game. The free throw won't go, but the offensive rebound for Peaster. Three on the way, long. And now a foul on the Greyhounds on the rebound. One more team foul on Peaster in the period will send Brock to the free throw line. Final 70 seconds of the first half. A half that has been dominated by Peaster. Down the lane goes Walker in the corner. Gets it back from Welch. Down the side of the lane, knocked away, loose again, tied up, and it'll be Peaster basketball with 55.9 in this first half. No shot clock in Texas high school basketball, so if Peaster would like, they could hold for the final shot here in the opening half. Hull doesn't seem intent on that. Whips it around in the corner for Robertson. Back up top now in the hands of Cody Ruddy. Hull with the head of steam down the lane, had it blocked. Gets it back on her knees. Tries to fire it out, but the diving attempt by Ruddy won't do it. And it's Brock basketball with 24 seconds left. It's Hyatt to start the offense here for Brock with under 20 seconds left in the first half. Down to 10 seconds. 3 on the way from the corner, won't go. Rebound fought for, ripped away. Ends up back in the hands of the Eagles. The jumper from 14 feet won't go for Walker. And that's how the half will expire with the ball in the hands of Peyton Hull. A much more even second quarter, but the first quarter did all the damage. Peaster with a 38-7 lead at the end of the first half in game 1 of our girls-boys doubleheader here at Brock High School. This is Saturday Night Hoops halftime when we return for Parker County.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA. In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA Plus. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, tempting. Dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA Plus.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
Brock High School, halftime between the Eagles and the Greyhounds of the girls' game, and a 38-7 halftime score in favor of the 6th-ranked Peaster Greyhounds. Again, a team that has not lost in 7 consecutive games. They have been fantastic all through district play, winning every one of those district games by double digits. 11-0 in district overall. Haven't lost since they played Jim Ned in a holiday tournament on December 30th. Jim Ned, one of the top 5 teams in the state in 3A. And a team that Peaster may well see come playoff time. They look like they're ready for such a challenge. After a terrific first half, again, 38-7 the score. They jumped all over Brock in the early goings of this one. An 18-0 run to start the game that extended out even further to a 31-3 first quarter of play. The second quarter was much more even. Peaster won that quarter just 7-4. But the damage was done in that opening period. 13 points to lead the way for the Peaster Greyhounds from Landry Robertson. Multiple three-pointers in that first half, 3 in total. As Heckma Harrison makes his way in here at Brock High School. Just burned up the interstate, making his way down from Denton. Happy to see him in the building. We'll talk more with him here momentarily. 10 points from Brooklyn Bozier in the first half, and she has led the way. She, as well as Robertson and Peyton Hall, have led the way for the Peaster Greyhounds through one half here at Brock High School. When we return, the one and only Heckma Harrison joins us for the second half here on Saturday Night Hoops.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA. In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
Back in Brock, second half just moments away here from Parker County. Some comments on the YouTube feed. Joanne Parker says, way to go, Lady Hounds. Michael Hall, a regular viewer here on the WFAA Digital Network, says, straight dominance in the first half by Peaster. Carter Galvin says, please lose, Peaster, please. He said, I don't even like Brock. I just hate Peaster. I'm not sure what that's rooted in, Carter, but we appreciate you tuning in just the same. I don't think, anyway, that you're going to get your wish in this first game. We'll see what the second game holds between the boys at probably 7:45 or so. That game is expected to start now, maybe even closer to 8 o'clock. But in this girls' game, Heckma Harrison, as it's wonderful to have you here. All Peaster in the first half. Landry Robertson with 13, 10 more for Brooklyn Bozier, and then Peyton Hall having her way with things offensively and defensively in that first half. Those three really driving the ship for Peaster so far.
And I really believe that was the cast of characters that we came into this ball game expecting to have big games. So right as expected. And yeah, man, glad to be here. You can't threaten me with a good time. So my goodness, man, what an atmosphere. You're talking about driving in here. Good luck with parking.
Yeah, no, it is jam-packed here, especially as we near closer to the boys' game. Again, it was a scheduled 7:30 tip. It's already 10 after 7 as we start the second half here. And as we start the second half here, Peyton Hall right back on her script, creating the turnover and laying it in. She has now got 10 on the night.
And you see how easy that was. She got the steal and already had the green light to take it coast to coast. You see the player that she is Hull.
And an offensive foul there on the handoff, as it looked like Hayden Walker was just a bit out of control. The foul will go against Hyatt, excuse me. Michael Hall in the YouTube's comment says, Heckma Harrison entered the building. Should have come in with a theme song like The Rock or Hulk Hogan or Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I will get that over to Clay Marshall, our producer, to make sure that happens next time, Michael.
Minute into this third quarter, 40-7, the shocking score in favor of Peaster. Kick out Robertson, the leading scorer in this game, has 3 more.
And one of the things you can't do with Landry Robertson is you cannot let her pick her spot. They're going to play that two-man game down in the paint with the intention to get the ball back out to Robertson.
Again, just altogether shocking what we have seen so far tonight. The first time these two teams met, a 1-point game at the start of the third quarter. Tonight, a very, very different story. Even though we are here in Brock's gym, Peaster has been dominant. Hyatt down the lane. The kick out up top now for Matthews. Lost it momentarily. Hayden Walker, now the kick out for Matthews for 3.
And boy, did they need that, right? To finally get to within double digits. But one of the things I'm impressed by immediately is just the way that Peaster help side defense is happening. They're not allowing any easy drives. So their off man is making sure that they're getting their hands involved.
Driving into the lane went Miranda Smith, lost it momentarily. Kick out, Robertson again open for 3.
And Landry Robertson, number 24, turns around with a bit of a smile on her face. She knows she is fire hot right now, and they better try and get somebody to run out on her and not allow her to get her spot.
Joanne Parker says, way to go, Hull. Way to go, any one of the Peaster Greyhounds tonight. This time, Hull in on the steal. Up ahead for Bozier. Cross court for Robertson. She's got 21 on the night.
Yeah, that's where you take a quick timeout. That's where you take a timeout and get a hold of your team, because right now number 24 is single-handedly taking over this game. As you see right here on the replay, making her way down on the box, and that's just easy work.
5:19 left here in quarter number 3, and a 48-10 lead for the Peaster Greyhounds.
Yeah, making it look easy. And it's like you said, if this wasn't the matchup that we were expecting especially the complete dominance right now from Peaster, and it looks like, you know, the way that they're running, the way that they're playing defense, that's what's impacted this game without knowing the first half. They've been able to, you know, get steals and just really throw Brock off with their simple zone defense on this side.
Yeah. In talking with Alex Stevenson, the Brock head coach, earlier this week, he said he felt like Peaster's Peyton Hall may be the best player in all of 3A statewide. And he was really impressed with how Brooklyn Bozier shoots the basketball as well. Those two are expected to have big nights anytime you play the Peaster Greyhounds. Landry Robertson's a really good player and deserves maybe more credit than she's gotten coming into this game, because she has been the difference in this basketball game. She has been the starter fluid, if you will, for this Greyhounds offense. She now leads all scorers with 21.
But when you talk about a player like Robertson that is a streaky shooter, okay, and once she gets hot, it's going to stay that way, and you can tell she's already in rhythm, especially when you get some easy looks down on the box the way that she did right there. It's going to be hard to stop her for the rest of the game.
It's interesting, in talking with all 4 coaches this week, is the steal here by Robertson. She's going to lead the break with Bozier right through Bozier's hands. She's able to chase it down in the corner. Cross court, Robertson again. Yes, sir.
That's all you can say. As soon as the ball touches her hands, it's like, hey, that thing is going to hit the bottom of the net.
She's got 24 now, 51-10. Peaster. Double team.
You see that trap extending out. And that's just good coaching right there, just making sure that these point guards don't get into any rhythm to find their shooters in their spots.
Matthews gets it back on the left wing, guarded by Bozier. Now back up top for Hallie Hyatt. Midway point of quarter number 3. Peaster on their way to locking up a district championship here in 2023. Three-pointer on the way for Kylie Allen, misses long, and here comes Bozier once again. Knocked away, good hands by Kira Matthews.
Yeah, could have gone the other way with the foul. But one thing you can see right now from Brock, they're working so hard offensively to try and find the open shooter. Peaster just keeping their hands in their face. They're, again, on both ends of the floor, just having to work so hard. But especially when you're offensively, when you're having to work so hard just to find an open shooter, that's a testament to Peaster's defense.
Left wing here for Ruddy, now back up top for Robertson. Miranda Smith into the lane, leaves it for the trailing Bozier, but the layup won't go.
Oh, it looked good. Bozier streaking in the lane, just not able to get that kiss off the glass to fall.
Joanne Parker in the YouTube comments says, "Whoa, Landry," to Landry Robertson.
I know, right?
Nice drive down the lane by Matthews plus the foul.
And sometimes you just need something like that to happen for your team. Just look, at this point, it would be a crazy comeback if Brock is able to come back in this contest. But you need something positive to happen offensively.
Free throw won't fall. Stays 51-12 in favor of Peaster. Hall underneath. Spins her way to the glass.
What's impressive about that is that Peyton Hall does that and she's triple teamed down in the paint. I mean, that just shows the influence that she has offensively when you have to relegate 3 men down in the paint to try and stop her.
She's got a dozen now on the night. Matthews with the 14-footer. Just nothing's going to fall tonight for the Brock Eagles. Even the easy looks just have not cooperated. Hall able to save it in bounds. Robertson there for another triple.
This is an unbelievable shooting display that I walked in on the Brock gym. And I tell you what, number 24 is going to set off a smoke alarm pretty soon.
Now with 27 on the night for Landry Robertson. Just by walking into the gym, Heckma Harrison, your body temperature went up about 2 degrees just because you're in proximity of Landry Robertson.
I'm telling you, all we needed a couple days ago was her to walk outside, melt some of this ice in the DFW.
Hall's triple won't go. Brock with numbers if they hurry. Hyatt kicks in the corner. Back up top for Matthews. I beg your pardon. Abby Mathis with it. Now it's Matthews. Guarded by Robertson. A minute to play here in quarter number 3.
Yeah, Mike, this is the impressive part about it. Even without a game clock, you see the defenders are extending all the way out. They're just not going to allow any easy passes.
Knocked away, but it will stay on that end.
And defensively, that kind of pressure for 4 quarters can definitely lead to plenty of fast break opportunities.
Tyler Hull says Ruby and Knox are cheering on their cousin Peyton Hull tonight, says Go Hounds. The whole Hull family tuned in.
Right.
In the corner, the 3 on the way will fall for Hallie Hyatt. Down the lane, the layup won't go, but the putback will for Hull, and 1.
How about that? You must know that her cousins are looking. And goes up for an awesome and 1 opportunity.
Hull now with 14 on the night. Rebound tipped around, but grabbed by Hyatt.
And that's what they need. They need Hyatt to be the floor general and direct this offense. Look, they're looking for the open shooter, but just not finding it. This Peaster defense is smothering them right now.
Hyatt gets into the lane and finishes.
That's what they needed.
And the buzzer sounds before Hull can get a shot off at the end of the 3rd. But it's a 39-point lead for the Peaster Greyhounds as we head to the 4th on Saturday Night Hoops.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
Back in Parker County, Brock and Peaster tonight here on the WFAA YouTube channel and WFAA Plus Saturday Night Hoops. Initially Tuesday Night Hoops, then Thursday Night Hoops, now Saturday Night Hoops. Thanks, weather.
Yeah, weather has permitted us to finally have a Saturday night. That's, you know what, that's kind of fitting.
Yeah.
We had a Tuesday, Friday, why not throw in a Saturday?
We've now got a graphics package for pretty much every day of the week thanks to our graphics team. So ready to start the 4th. Peaster basketball up 39. Again, just a shocking result tonight. Absolutely a shocking first period. 31-3. Peaster jumped all over Brock, and they have been in control ever since. Bozier draws the foul, and she'll head to the free throw line for 2. In talking with Garrett Hilton, Peaster's head coach, earlier this week, he talked about how they've come up just short these last 2 years. Made it to the regional semifinals, but lost each of those 2 games. 2 wins shy of making a trip to San Antonio for the state tournament. He said, listen, make no bones about it. San Antonio is our target. They played a loaded schedule in the non-district. 4A teams, 5A teams, 6A teams, trying to prepare themselves for what they hope is going to be a really deep playoff run. It's not going to be easy. You got number 2 Jim Ned, number 3 Holiday, this 6th-ranked Peaster team, this 9th-ranked Brock team, all within their region alone. But all they care about is the effort we're giving enough to go to state? The effort tonight, Hackma, very clearly checks that box.
And you know what? You also you double down on the fact that you have the playmakers to get you there as well. But I love the point that you make about that, because when we talk with him, it seems like he was even ticked off about the fact that 3 consecutive years they've been knocking on the door, and you have to make that mission be, you know, Operation San Antonio, and that's what they're looking at. I mean, you have players come through your program and get to this point where you're highly competitive throughout a season and have the letdown of not being able to get to a state title. And now I just feel like they have the team to really contend and get to a championship.
Yeah. Three-pointer knocked down just a moment ago by Hallie Hyatt. She was a young woman that was tweeting at you and I all week long about how much they were anxious to get in the gym, even though technically they weren't allowed to officially hold a practice on a number of these recent days when they've had no school. But they were allowed to, even absent the coaches, get together and at least get some shots up and kind of run their own captain's practice, if you will, that kind of thing. And she's showing some of the benefits of that. She has now the last 2, 5, 7, 10 straight points for Brock, spanning the third quarter and into the fourth now. Really nice little run here from Hallie Hyatt. And she's got the ball in her hands once again. Nice look on the back door, but the block and a foul on Megan Smith as she and Kira Matthews went up.
And you see Hyatt really just taking over at the point guard position and just finding, making this respectable, finding players in the right spot and drawing the foul. But, there are a lot of teams in this Metroplex that are out of rhythm, out of sync because of being out of school, not being able to practice. And so, not surprising.
Free throw won't fall there for Kira Matthews.
What an atmosphere.
Yeah, it was really interesting in the first half as the second free throw goes there for Matthews to make it 60-23. In the first half, how silent this place was. And what was really interesting was it was on both sides. Brock obviously was unfortunate enough to not have anything to really cheer about, but I think even the Peaster fans were in stunned silence because they didn't expect the kind of run that we saw in that first half. The steal by Hull, and the lane goes. Hull now with 16 on the night.
Wow, what a draw of a charge there for Rudy. Doing a good job defensively, just keeping her feet grounded to draw that charge.
Peaster takes it back as a result. Just over 6 minutes left in this one as Peaster is on their way to 12-0 in district play. Nice drive down the lane by Hull and the finish.
Yeah, Peyton Hull is, I don't want to call her unstoppable, but it looks that way down on the block. Once she gets to her spot.
Nice move there and the finish by Hayden Walker. A foul there in the midcourt.
And you see Brock just coming out, just trying to create some pressure in turnovers, trapping immediately. Let's see if it works.
Hull will pop a three, misses long.
That's what they call a heat check right there.
Offensive rebound, though, fought for and pulled down by J.C. McLeod. Leads to an extra chance there for Robertson, but it won't go. Still loose underneath. It'll be a jump ball. It'll be Brock Eagle basketball.
Mike, talk about the lead up to this matchup, interviewing the coaches, and I mean, God, man, this is how many times did we have to hear blue blood rivalry and likening it to some of the greatest college rivalries that we've ever heard of.
Yeah.
I could not wait to get here just to see, just to be a part of this atmosphere and the rivalry.
Three-pointer on the way, no good off the hands of Hayden Walker. Unfortunately, this girls' game hasn't lived up to the expectation in terms of being a tightly contested game like we thought it may have been. I think it would be a shock for the boys' game to be anything but a very, very tight game based on what we've seen so far this season. Hallie Hyatt grabbing onto kind of her kidney area as she took a shot on the loose ball.
Yeah, I think she took a knee. They were both going for the ball at the same time. She is in pain.
Greg Connors, the assistant athletic director and trainer here at Brock High School, tending to her at midcourt. We've seen her play a really nice second half, really keying the offense for Brock here after halftime. You certainly have to hope for her sake and for this Brock team's sake that she will ultimately be okay.
Yeah, that's just a really sensitive area. Again, I think she took a knee. And the sophomore leader, hoping she's okay, but she is in pain on the floor right now.
You see Hallie Hyatt slowly able to sit up there, but still very much in pain. And a nice round of applause here at Brock High School for Hallie Hyatt as she gets back to her feet. What a second half Hallie Hyatt played to lead the way for this Brock Eagles offense. You just hope that whatever it is that she's dealing with right now will be a short-term injury.
And those loose ball opportunities, injuries like that, there's no way to cover yourself, protect yourself, because you have two players going for the ball, and obviously unintentional, the damage that was caused, but definitely hoping that the sophomore is okay.
That's the thing with this Brock Eagles team. They are very young. That ball out of bounds as Bozier ran out of real estate, but Hayden Walker, a starter that's just a freshman. You mentioned Hallie Hyatt being just a sophomore, one of their starters. Kira Matthews, who's been maybe the best player on the floor tonight for Brock. Her and Hallie Hyatt, I think, would kind of duel it out for that title. Both of them are sophomores. This is a very young basketball team. Kimberly Thompson and Abby Mathis, the other two starters, are both seniors, but they're two of only 3 seniors on the entire roster. That ball blocked out of bounds. It'll stay on this end. Bozier with good defense on Kira Matthews. 6 of the 9 players on this Brock roster, either freshmen or sophomores.
And when we talk with Coach Stevenson, that's exactly what he said. He's like, it is a youth movement, and I am trying to make sure that I get these ladies as much experience as I possibly can. And well, there's a lot of coming of age here tonight because they're getting put through the gauntlet.
Nice move there by Matthews for the layup to make it 64-27. Midway point of this fourth quarter. That one rattles out. Loose underneath. And finally corralled by Brock. Kylie Allen with the loose ball. That ball knocked out of bounds, but it's going to be last touched by Peaster before it hit the back of the stanchion.
But how about that from J.C. McLeod? Even up by this many points, still competing for loose balls.
Do stay with us here after the girls' game. We will roll straight into the boys' basketball game. You won't need to go to a different stream. You won't need to go to any other location. You can just stay right here. We'll wrap up the girls' game and then tee up the boys' matchup as Hull with another steal. Leaves it in transition for Bozier down the lane, and the layup goes.
How about that for Brooklyn Bozier? Just on the dribble drive, and you can see this Peaster team, they are athletic and they continue to attack. Everything is set up by the way that they play defense, and that's another steal. And Brooklyn Bozier just sitting in that passing lane.
Gives it up ahead for Hull on the reverse layup.
How about that for Hull?
She's now got 20. Hull, Bozier, and Robertson just dominating this basketball game. Loose ball grabbed by Bozier. Up ahead for Ruddy. Knocked away. Good hands by Hayden Walker.
Just a freshman. Just wanted to give credit to the underclassmen here. Thrust into this situation.
Hayden Walker is a very highly thought of freshman. she's just a freshman, so it's going to take some time for obviously her. I mean, when you're a freshman, you tend to make some freshman mistakes, and you still have to kind of come into your own, but she's very talented. 3 ball goes for Abby Mathis. That makes it 68-30 here with 2:14 to play. But yeah, Robertson with 27, 20 more from Peyton Hall, and then a dozen from Brooklyn Bozier. In total, 59 of the 68 points from Peaster from just those 3.
Yeah, you can't, the kind of game that they're getting from Landry Robertson, obviously you don't want to count on that night in and night out if you're Coach Hilton, but you love to see it. You really do. One of your best players come out, this senior, and she has been shooting the lights out in the Brock gym, and this is the kind of performance, obviously, that can catapult you if you're Robertson, that confidence that I'm sure she already has in her shot.
Let's take a look real quick before we start up the final couple minutes here at the boys game that is on tap. Again, that game not actually going to tip at 7:30, considering it's 7:34 right now. But about 20 minutes after this game wraps, we will bring you the Brock and Peaster boys game, and that one should be really, really good. Hall with the layup as she goes right back to work. And a 70-30 score in favor of Peaster.
Brody with a good outlet pass.
Knocked out of bounds, Peaster basketball. And on come the reserves here for the Greyhounds for the final $1.49. Ryan Lewis on the floor for the first time tonight. Marley Fadden on the floor for the first time this evening. As Peaster is putting the finishing touches on a dominant performance. Smith had it knocked away. Brock basketball.
And let's acknowledge the international signal for I'm taking my foot off the gas from Coach Hilton, bringing in his reserves.
And very well deserved to have number 10, number 23, and number 25, and number 24 sitting on the bench right now. Those 4 in particular, Bozier, Robertson, and Hall leading the way. Cody Ruddy played a nice game tonight as well. And those 4 get a chance to take a seat here over these final moments. Now a 5-second call is still out there playing hard as Miranda Smith hounding her player into a 5-second call. Tegan Sanders into the game for the first time today for Brock. Under a minute. Nice look underneath. Ryan Lewis. Layup won't go. Offensive board, Marley Fadden. Her kick out pass intercepted.
And I love that pick and roll from Peaster. We've seen that work a few times there to begin this half.
Driving down the lane was Tegan Sanders, but dispossessed, and here comes Peaster with 34 seconds left. Peaster will improve to 12-0 in district play and lock up at district championship. The 3 ball goes for Megan Smith.
Senior Megan Smith getting in on the act. What a game from Peaster. I could keep saying not what we expected at all, but got to give the Hounds some credit.
And the fans right behind us on the visitor side loving what they saw tonight from the Greyhounds. 73-30, the final score as the number 6 team in the state in 3A. Peaster in a rout knocks off Brock for the second time this year, improves to 12-0 in district play, and locks up a district championship here in 2023.
I just want to say Robertson is amazing. for what I walked in the gym to someone that was already on fire to begin with, and so I think for Peaster, the rhythm that they have as offense, but specifically what they do on defense, I think is going to take them far. And for Coach Hilton and his group, he's definitely got to be excited about this victory and really looking forward to the future.
When it's all said and done, a 27-point night for Landry Robertson, 22 points for Peyton Hall, and another dozen from Brooklyn Bozier. Those three again with 59 of the first 68 points tonight, and ultimately 59 of the 73. A truly, truly dominant performance from the Peaster Greyhounds, and they move to 25-5 on the year. I know you only got a chance to see the second half of this game and missed obviously the massive run there in the first quarter where they opened up 18-0 and 31-3 after one quarter. But still, the dominance continued into the second half and the portion of the game that you were able to see. Just your final takeaways from a Peaster team that certainly looks like they are ready to contend in a big way come the postseason.
Hey, Mike Leslie, I passed a lot of classes by just reading the Cliff Notes, so I'm going to take that as an opportunity to say exactly that. I mean, like from what I saw, basically saw a dominating performance on defense. That was what set up their offense. That helps our defense, keeping their hands active and getting strips. And basically what they're doing, they're getting those rebounds and they're getting out on the break quickly. But even when they had to set up their offense, playing selfless, but also making sure that they got the ball to the wide open player.
Yeah. This is just the end of game one of our doubleheader. Game two is on deck, and you can see the boys warming up right now. When we return, we'll tee up the boys game tonight between Brock and Peaster right here on Saturday Night Hoops.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA. In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak.
With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
Twice this season, the Brock and Peaster boys have met, and twice this season, it has come down to the final buzzer. Tonight, the rubber match between the number 5 and number 6 teams in the state of Texas in 3A as Brock hosts Peaster in the nightcap of our doubleheader on Saturday Night Hoops. And with that, we welcome you inside the gymnasium once again here at Brock High School. Mike Leslie and Heck Harrison here with you. The nightcap of our doubleheader. Peaster got the better of the girls' game in dominant fashion. Tonight, though, the boys' matchup, Heckma, is incredibly close. The two games they've played this year, both decided by just 1 point. The losing team had a shot to win at the buzzer in both games and missed. Both teams this year have scored 101 points on each other. It is razor thin, the margin between these two teams.
So let's go out on a limb and say that this game is going to be decided by less than 3 points.
Yeah, right? Probably.
That's probably what's going to happen. But I tell you what, they're two evenly matched teams, not only in the games that they've had, the stats, but also on their roster. I mean, these are two teams, when you look at the height, there's no real height advantage for either one of these teams. It's just going to come down to the skill and the grit for both of these guys. And look, two-story high school basketball teams that love to play against one another, and I expect a great basketball game.
We were told by the coaching staffs from all 4 of these programs over the course of this week that this game is like their own little version of Duke, Carolina. It's a big deal out here in Parker County, this Brock-Peaster matchup. This gym is jammed to capacity, and it's going to be a fun atmosphere tonight for this boys matchup. When they did play earlier this year, the first meeting was in a holiday tournament. Brock won 56-55. The district game went in favor of Peaster in Peaster's home gym, 46-45. When the two teams are this closely matched, it's going to come down to single possessions in this game. And Stan Short, the head coach of the Peaster Greyhounds, made it very simple. When we talked to him earlier this week, he said it's going to come down to which team has the better night.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you have players like Tremar Gilbert, you know that you have a player that you can get behind that can knock down these shots for you, and that's what it's going to come down to. Literally, who can knock down shots and who can create those turnovers. And the Greyhounds are going to be all about doing that. And when it comes down to a player like Gilbert, he's their floor general. He's the player that they expect to put all the pressure on this Brock defense, and he's going to have to play lights out.
A 6A athlete playing 3A sports. That's how he was described to us earlier this week by Stan Short. Meanwhile, for the Brock Eagles, Sawyer Stroh-Snyder, big, strong kid who really can do a lot of things for them.
Stroh-Snyder, strong like bull. This kid in the middle, he is a space eater, but he is someone that definitely enjoys the contact and being in the middle. That's what every team wants. A guy that, he plays football, but he's a basketball player, and he is a guy that really has a lot of that athleticism, but ability in the middle to eat up those rebounds, set those screens, and get easy baskets.
And it says a lot about his athleticism and the way that they do things out here in Parker County at both of these programs, Brock and Peaster. Not just a great basketball player, a great baseball player as well, a pitcher, an outfielder, a first baseman, already committed to go play baseball at TCU. Really, really talented athlete. And to go back to Tremar Gilbert for a second, because he's in a similar vein, outstanding basketball player, better football player, on his way to play at Texas A&M Commerce Division I football. So these kids play multiple sports, and they play them really, really well.
Yeah, and it's the physicality when we talk about those dual sport athletes like that. Their ability to put it all on the line, the moment is not too much for them. And so when you look at, Stroh-Snyder, you recognize a pitcher. He's a guy that's been on the mound. He knows what pressure is all about. So a matchup like this is nothing for him. You look for these two players that we just highlighted to take advantage in this matchup, and you're going to get the best out of both of them.
Let's go ahead and look at the tail of the tape between these two programs as we get a look at just how talented these teams are. 22-5 for Peaster, 18-5 for Brock, number 5 and number 6 in the state rankings. Peaster again got the better of Brock in the game that counted in district. The game that Brock won was part of the Whataburger Holiday Tournament just before district play began. Both teams can put up points. These two teams, we talked about it already. There's nothing that separates them.
No, two evenly matched teams, and you expect for this to be a contest to come down to the wire, but it's really going to be about who plays the better defense. Who doesn't give up those easy buckets. Transition defense is going to be important right now. So, look, your guards are going to have to pay attention. They can't just lackadaisically try and go through screens. So this is going to be the point that I'm looking for early. Who is more aggressive on defense to try and create those turnovers?
It is the nightcap of our doubleheader, Brock and Peaster. So far this season, nothing separates these two basketball teams. Tonight, we will sort out who gets the upper hand here in 2023. Saturday Night Hoops continues right after this.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA. In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak. With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA Plus. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting. Dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA Plus.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA. In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
As we welcome you back inside the gymnasium here at Brock High School, Parker County, our host tonight for Saturday Night Hoops. Starters tonight for Peaster, Canifax, Hotop, Morris, Gilbert, and Hall. For Brock, it's Lavender, Lewis, Strohsnyder, Pittsburgh, and Meeks. And we are underway as Gary Davis, our crew chief, throws it in the air. Peaster to start with possession as they move left to right here in the opening period. The atmosphere, Heckma Harrison, already at a peak.
Yeah, it really is. And you see that early elevation from Tremar Gilbert. That's going to be a matchup right now that you have to keep your eyes on, because Tremar Gilbert was able to elevate and get that shot up way too easy.
He's got the first deuce of the night. And here comes Brock. Contact inside, no call, off the side of the stanchion there for Sawyer Strohsnyder. And it's out of bounds back to Peaster. Gary Davis, our crew chief, Michael Woodard, and Nate Fern, our other two officials tonight. It's Jaron Canifax to start the offense for Peaster. Underneath for Gilbert, knocked away. Last touched by Gilbert and out of bounds.
And you see right now what they're trying to do is they're trying to get the ball into his comfort zone for Tremar Gilbert. earlier, just a quick jumper from the elbow, and they're trying to find him down on the box so he can use that 6'3" frame to get an easy shot up.
Austin Lavender breaking the press but can't finish the layup. Jack Hotop coming back in transition. Corner three on the way. Misses long. Darren Hall firing that triple. Lavender kicks out for Stroh-Snyder. Double teamed on the baseline. Cross court feed, three on the way for Kaysen Meeks, misses long. And here comes Gilbert. In transition, down the lane, lays it in.
Yeah, that's just too easy for Gilbert. You see him, as soon as he gets the rebound, he's coming back coast to coast, finding his way into the lane. He's an explosive player right now that you can tell they are going to have a hard time trying to deal with number 2, Mr. Gilbert.
The lefty layup won't go, the putback won't go for Braden Pitchford. A 4-0 start for Peaster. We saw the girls start off their game with an 18-0 run. The boys are trying to match it. Long way to go till that point, but certainly a good start here for Tremar Gilbert and the Greyhounds on the road.
And you see this matchup. They're man-to-man, but again, it's help side defense. They're trying to make sure that they keep active hands to not allow an easy transition buckets.
Jason Kyle in the YouTube comments says congratulations to the Lady Hounds on another district championship. They showed that up tonight with the win over Brock. Stroh-Snyder. Back up top for Zach Lewis, and they'll reset the offense. Corner three for Austin Lavender, misses short. Zach Wayne says he's got Jack Hotop dropping 30 tonight.
Oh, wow. All right, we're here for it.
Down the lane, the layup will go for Jaron Canifax.
See Peaster mixing in a little bit of press after made baskets.
Front iron no good for Pitchford.
And how about that for both of these teams? Starting out not able to knock down any buckets. Had the same thing happening in the women's game.
Tremar Gilbert, 6 of the 8 in the early going, and it's an 8-0 start for Peaster.
Yeah, and Peaster has come out firing. And God, Stan Short exploded off of the bench.
JF in our YouTube comments says Tremar needs to take this game over. So far, so good.
Yeah, he doesn't need to. He already is.
6 in the early going for Tremar Gilbert, who averages 19 a game. And you're already seeing exactly what Stan Short told us to look for coming in tonight. He's a 6A athlete playing 3A sports. He is just bigger and stronger than the other 9 guys on the floor.
And that's not only that physicality, once he's down on the block, getting his shot off, but also defensively, he's a guy that's hard to box out and get around. So you've seen him impact with those defensive rebounds as well.
So an 8-0 start for the Peaster boys after we saw the Peaster girls start tonight up 18-0. Can the Brock boys find an answer? Nice look underneath, and the layup will go for Lewis.
And I like that, because what you got to do is you have to make them work. And so they come back with Carter Ditto, and he's able to go right down onto the box and get a score.
Kick out, 3 on the way for Hotop.
Hotop, the guy that's going to hit 30 tonight.
He's 1/10 of the way there.
Yeah.
Stroh-Snyder into the lane, knocked away. They say black basketball.
But that's not a bad look by Sawyer. Driving into the lane, looking for the outlet pass. Brock has just got to calm down offensively and get some easy shots.
Darren Hall gives it off for Hotop, gets it back, three-pointer on the way. Zach Lewis in transition, now he'll peel back. Tough pass into traffic underneath, and it's knocked away by Hotop.
No, it was.
Gilbert picked up his dribble, gives off for Hotop, another triple. A fifth of the way to the 30 that was called in the YouTube comments, and a 14-2 start for Peaster.
And that's a good timeout there for Coach Boxell. He's got to calm his squad down because the Hounds are really not doing anything other than knocking their shots down. Brock, when they have fast break opportunities, they're trying to slow it down, play more of a half-court set. They're really, what I see is just really kind of a confusion and disarray on offense, whether they want to go into a half-court set or whether they want to run.
Third meeting this season between these two teams. The first two followed very similar scripts. Peaster got up 10 in the first half of the first meeting. Brock fought back early in the third, then early in the fourth. Midway through the fourth, Brock took the lead by as much as 10. Then Peaster came almost all the way back and had a shot at the buzzer to win it that missed. Brock won 56-55. The second meeting, the swings weren't quite as dramatic, but Peaster controlled the first half. Brock came back to take the lead in the second half. This time, Peaster came back to lead late, and Brock's shot at the buzzer missed. Peaster winning 46-45. So on some level, an early 12-point lead for Peaster doesn't come as a huge shock, but still a great way for Stan Short's team to start tonight.
And that's why the fans on the Brock sideline are yawning, because this is just the way things go, and they want to. They're not out of it, obviously, here in the first quarter.
Stroh-Snyder out of the timeout, has it blocked. What a great defensive play by Darren Hall.
Yes, that was strong from Darren Hall. Just playing textbook defense, keeping his hands up, and there they go inside.
The double team comes for Gilbert, kicks in the corner, three on the way for Hall.
But you know what happens when you're double teaming down to Gilbert? He knows to look for the outlet pass, and that's a great job by the senior Tremar Gilbert, finding the baseline jumper.
And it's 17-2 Peaster. I feel like we're watching the same game over again. Stroh-Snyder, 16-footer goes.
How about that? You know, I was in high school at one time. I just don't remember having a body like that. I mean, gosh, I play ball, you know. This kid's got muscles.
When did the muscles come? At K-State?
Yeah, pretty much.
Gilbert spinning into the lane, and the
that?
layup
that was pretty.
Just a bit strong.
Looking for the contact, and there was plenty of it. They didn't call that foul.
Down the lane, and a block, and they're going to say that is on the way up for Zach Lewis. Zach Wayne, who's the young man in the YouTube comments who told us that Jack Hotop was going to go for 30 tonight. After the second three from Hotop, jumped in the comments again and said, told you.
Told you. I love it.
Free throw rims out for Zach Lewis. I love this. Dio Woodard in the YouTube comment says, go whoever. My husband is one of the refs tonight. Go Michael Woodard. We appreciate you tuning in tonight.
That is some dedication. Go whoever. I love it. My husband's the ref. I want my husband home.
So let's take that and file it in our back pocket, Hackman Harrison. No complaining about the refs tonight. One of their wives is watching. Three misses on the right side of the iron there for Hall.
Right now for Brock, they've got to get in some type of offensive rhythm, whether it be on transition. Right now they're going with the half-court set, but don't know if that's going to work for them in this matchup.
Good offensive rebound by Braden Carter, ditto, and he draws the foul. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Carter Ditto is definitely the presence that they need down low. Because Tremar Gilbert, if you just allow him to set up shop down there, he's going to get all the rebounds from Peaster.
First free throw misses long. Johans 5 says, let's go Denman Kirby, number 1 for the Brock Eagles. Says, go Brock Eagles, beat Peaster, love you, JoJo and Uncle Todd. We appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Again, please click the like button, click the share button on this broadcast, and send the link around to your friends and family in the Brock and Peaster communities. Let them know we got a good one tonight here in Parker County. Final minute of the first quarter. An 0-for-2 trip at the free throw line leaves it a 12-point game in favor of Peaster, and they've got it here with 45 seconds left in the period. Up top for Canifax. Pump fakes the 3, then drives down the side of the lane. Lots of contact. No whistle. Now a whistle on the rebound is going to go against Peaster.
Wow. They call that against Peaster. There's plenty of physicality right there. And I'm sure for Peaster, they're wondering where was the foul. Didn't draw a whistle there, so that's going to be something to watch for.
No shot clock in Texas high school basketball, so Brock can hold for the final shot if they'd like. Double team comes, they pass out of it. Nice look underneath. Stroh-Snyder had it ripped away, kicks it back out. Lewis with 13 on the clock in the period. Guarded by Gilbert. Crossover down the lane, fires it up, tough shot. 5 seconds left as the rebound's pulled down. Hank Morris with 1, gets the shot off, but it's blocked. A terrific block by Colton Matlock to end the quarter. A little bit of momentum there for Brock, but a fantastic first period for the Peaster Greyhounds. They lead it 17-5 after 1 on Saturday Night Hoops.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA.
Back in Parker County. Second quarter about to get underway. 17-5, the score in favor of Peaster through the opening quarter. 6 early points from Tremar Gilbert. 6 early points from Jack Hotop. And they've got a 12-point lead through the opening 8 minutes. Ekma Harrison and Mike Leslie here with you on the WFAA YouTube channel and WFAA Plus. Joanne Parker says, let's go Hounds. Shannon Sweat with a couple of eyeball emojis. It's Doy asking for a shout out, says that they're a Brock fan.
Let's go Eagles.
And it is Brock to have possession to open up the second quarter. Stroh-Snyder in the lane, double teamed, kick out. Colton Matlock. Back up top, 14-footer won't go, but the putback will. Braden Carter Ditto with the putback. Beg your pardon, it was Pitchford.
Yeah, Pitchford, right man, right time. Sitting there on the box as the shot goes off of the rim. And here come the Eagles, battling their way back into this contest.
Lead down to 10. They've scored 5 straight now after it was 17-2 to start this game. Gilbert for 3.
And one of the things I see right now, the Eagles, they get the rebound, right?
Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Brock, and Aaron passed there.
They get the rebound, and they are slowing the pace down. It's obviously something that they've seen and that they know. These teams know each other well. But Coach Boxall is making sure that his team goes with more of a half-court set instead of trying to concentrate on any transition buckets.
Gilbert hands off for Hotop, 16-footer, yes sir.
Hey, when he said that in the comments about Hotop going for 30, I'm sorry I laughed a little bit. This guy knew something that we didn't.
Already 8 points for Jack Hotop in the first 9.5 minutes of this basketball game. Lewis gives it off for Colton Matlock, now gets it back. Stroh-Snyder on the left baseline. Nice look underneath, and the layup will go for Braden Carter-Ditto.
And that was all set up by Stroh-Snyder, looking down low for Carter-Ditto. He knew that the trap was going to come out. That was a perfect opportunity to get the ball inside to Carter-Ditto, and that's an easy shot.
Nice block. It's Matlock again. That's his second block of the night. He had the one that ended the first quarter. Angela Powell says, let's go Eagles.
That's his second shot block on Morris, I believe.
Now he takes the shot, and that'll rattle home.
Now you got a little bit of that momentum being stolen back by the Eagles. And there is another strip. How about that for Colt Matlock? 2 blocks, and now a steal.
Active hands for the freshman. Now he'll go to work, gives it off for Carter-Ditto. Big, strong move, but an offensive foul.
Yeah. Sends a big presence, and look, he is just bulldozing his way into the paint.
Five minutes left here in this second quarter, 19-11 in favor of Peaster. We are working on getting the clock back for y'all. Hotop misses long, tipped away, but tipped out of bounds. Gilbert couldn't quite chase it down.
And I said in the beginning, just talking about the way that defensively this is going to be played, you see that attention to detail from the Eagles to open the second quarter. They have closed down those passing lanes and making life really unbearable right now offensively for the Hounds.
Stroh-Snyder, tough move, and the lefty layup goes. The lead is down to 6.
Yeah, and they are making Gilbert work on defense.
Thank you to those in the comments letting us know that the clock had dropped. We've got it back up for you now. Thank you very much for the heads up. Teresa Parker says, go Hounds. Lead down to 6. It was 17-2 Peaster. Since then, an 11-2 Brock run to get right back in it.
Yeah, the Hounds look to be going a little bit away from where they were offensively with the easy points that they got in the paint. Trying to look for those perimeter looks.
Nice look from Gilbert underneath, and the layup will go for Gunnar McElroy.
And that was just what the doctor ordered. That's what I was talking about, them getting down in the paint and getting some easy buckets.
Zach Boxell hollering out an offensive set to his team as they reset it up top with the freshman Matlock. Baseline for Stroh-Snyder. Made the decision mid-air to give it off. The layup wouldn't go. Loose underneath. Last touched by Peaster. Lewis to key it in. Stroh-Snyder, 12-footer, misses long. Rebound battled for, saved back in bounds. Good play on the far side by Braden Pitchford, and they'll reset the offense.
I tell you, every team needs a player like Carter-Ditto. The guy, he knows his role. He's staying right there in the paint, not trying to do anything fancy. He is all energy, rebounds, and defense.
Final 3 minutes of this first half. An 8-point lead right now for Peaster. Lewis, tough move into the lane, but it won't go.
And McElroy comes down with that rebound, and boy, he is battling himself down there with Carter Ditto. That's a matchup. If you could see that, boy, this number 32 and number 3, these guys are going at it when Brock is on offense.
Hank Morris, step back 3.
Oh, it looked good.
Missed off the side of the iron.
Hank just trying to give Colt Matlock something to think about, because Matlock has been all over him defensively.
Tough shot, the foul drawn by Zach Lewis. Billy Goat 3 says go Eagles, says Timmy is rooting from his wheelchair. We appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Head coach Zach Boxell said Zach Lewis is the kid who keeps the team together and makes it all go. He knocks down the free throw there to carve a little closer here.
Yeah, and Boxell, he has a young team. He has a bunch of sophomores sprinkled in with some seniors, and I believe there's only one junior on this team, and that's Sawyer Straw-Snyder. So relatively young team.
2-for-2 trip for Lewis, the lead down to 6 once again. They extend the pressure beyond half court.
And Coach Short gave Gilbert about a 30-second break, and he's back in.
Canifax pump faked about a 30-footer, but thought better of it. And they're going to slow things down here just before halftime. Hotop finds a place in the an opening in the offense, and there's a good look for Colton Matlock, Darren Hall rather, and the jumper goes.
How about that for Darren Hall? I mean, he finds himself in the paint all by himself, and I think he was shocked that he was so wide open, but got a second chance opportunity and able to sink the shot. Defensively still staying in man are the Greyhounds. They're predominantly a man team.
Offensive rebound, the putback won't go for Carter Ditto. Hotop in transition, corner 3 on the way. Yes, sir! Hank Morris with the triple, and it's back to an 11-point lead.
Hey, and Hank, he's so happy to see that one go down, because I tell you what, Colt Matlock has been in his back pocket this entire first half.
Good hesitation underneath by Carter Ditto, and he draws the foul.
Yeah, good job by the big man down low. He is working for every bucket, and as soon as he gets that rebound, he knows not to put it down first, because those Greyhounds are going to be all over him.
So 2 free throws here for Braden Carter Ditto, the senior. First one misses short. .8 seconds left here in the first half. A 1-for-2 trip, and the lead is 10. No shot clock. Peaster can hold if they want to. Under 40 seconds now.
Really shocking to see Coach Short slow this pace down. Obviously trying to just hold for the last shot, but we saw in that earlier possession that they're slowing the pace down.
Down to 12 now. They're trying to get Tremar Gilbert the basketball, but Brock is making it hard. Tipped away for a moment there by Straw-Snyder. Cross court. Hotop pump fakes the free 3 with 4. Fires up the floater. Rattles off. The putback will go. What a one-handed putback for Peaster as the buzzer sounds by Gunnar McElroy.
How about that for Gunnar McElroy? Again, another one of those second chance opportunities for number 3, just being right place, right time. We've seen that twice already. Talk about high off the glass. You're gonna bank it like that on a Saturday. Better call your shot.
28-16 off the putback from McElroy, and Peaster with the lead by a dozen at halftime on Saturday Night Hoops.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA. In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak. With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA Plus. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting. Dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA Plus.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
Back at Brock High School, the 6th-ranked Peaster Greyhounds leading, the 5th-ranked Peaster Greyhounds leading number 6 Brock by a 28-16 score. A 12-point lead for the Greyhounds at halftime, Heckma Harrison, and we've seen Peaster do it in a number of different ways.
No, and I think one of the more important things is coming into this game, we knew that Tremar Gilbert would have an impact for the Greyhounds offensively, and he's done exactly that. Getting some easy buckets inside, transition buckets as well, but I think it's been a complete team effort, especially from Jack Hotop. I mean, this is a guy right now that I can tell he can shoot the lights out, and once he gets into his spots, he's doing work. But on the other side for the Eagles, they're staying competitive, and they're going to be able to do it by staying competitive on defense.
Yeah. It's interesting, you look at Peaster, there's really nobody that's been a runaway leader from a scoring perspective. Hotop has 8, 6 from Tremar Gilbert, 5 more from Darren Hall, 4 points from Gunnar McElroy. It's been a very even share of their 28 points so far.
Yeah, it has. Again, and you're going to need that kind of effort. But at some point, you're going to need your dogs to really take over, and that's Tremar Gilbert. I've seen him kind of float a little bit. He stays out in transition, around the three-point line to take a shot. But he's so big, you want to see him get down into the paint and be more of a presence down low. Right now for Carter Ditto, he's really not being tested, defensively down in the paint.
Yeah. Only 4 points in the first half from Sawyer Stroh-Snyder. You mentioned needing to get your dogs going. Brock needs to in the second half of this one if they're going to be able to come back from a 12-point halftime deficit. 28-16 the score in favor of Peaster on Saturday Night Hoops. Third quarter action when we return.
We begin with breaking news in Dallas.
You need a team you can trust.
Those are some of the questions that we want answered.
Regulators have been warned over and over again.
Relevant.
I want to give you a better picture of what's happening here, both on the ground and live from HD Chopper 8.
Looking out for you.
We have a serious situation right now that's developing across North Texas.
Bold reporting, dynamic coverage, original content. We are WFAA. In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Wake up at daybreak to get your local news, weather, and traffic. But hey, it doesn't have to stop here.
No, we're passing the ball to our friends at GMA.
That's right. Your best mornings continue right here on GMA.
With exclusive interviews, all the top breaking news.
And everything you need to know to get going. And hey, nice catch, Robin.
All right.
Local live traffic updates when you need them.
And don't forget about the weather.
Get your day started with Daybreak. With Daybreak and GMA.
Every morning.
Sometimes parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA Plus. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting. Dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA Plus.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
It was a bit of a weird week for these two programs. Weather delaying this game from Tuesday to Thursday, now here to Saturday. But number 5, Peaster, and number 6, Brock, ready to start off the second half here in Parker County. Two good basketball teams, two of the very best in 3A. Two programs that are used to making deep, deep playoff runs. Two programs, Heckma Harrison, that have both won state championships. Tonight, though, trying to settle out who's going to be the district champion here in 2023.
Well, and we know that no lead is safe when these two connect. So buckle your seatbelts for the second half is basically what I'm saying, because Brock can come out of halftime making their adjustments and easily win this game by a point.
It is very possible. That's what we've seen so far this year. 2 one-point games between these two teams. We'll see if we'll get a third one tonight. If that's going to happen, Brock is going to have to engineer another second half comeback.
Yeah, they're going to need it, but they're definitely going to need their big guns to come out firing here to begin this third quarter. You talk about Sawyer Strauss-Snyder. He's having to work on both ends of the floor, get his offense off, but also guard Tremar Gilbert, and that is no small undertaking. So it may be the biggest hit that he's taking to his offense, having to guard the best player on the other side.
It will be Peaster ball to start this second half as they'll move right to left here in the third period. Ball knocked away on the backdoor look. Last touched by the Brock Eagles. Austin Lavender got a hand on that one. Slightly awkward spot over there in the corner to inbound the ball from. Still haven't gotten it in. Finally, they sky it toward the backside for Hotop.
We saw Coach Short to end the first half go with more of a slowed down pace, more of a half-court look. He opens up the third with the same.
30 seconds burned off already here in this third quarter. Up top for Gilbert, down the lane, tough layup, and it goes.
Yeah, like I said, for Sawyer Strohsnyder, he's having to stay with Gilbert, who already has just much bigger height-wise. But you see it right there with Gilbert able to get to his spot and get that layup up.
Gilbert now with 8 on the night, matching Jack Hotop for the leading scorer, and an offensive foul on Strohsnyder.
Yeah, Strohsnyder asking what he did. Just being physical, getting back inside on his spot. Maybe a questionable call, but nonetheless, charge is called and going the other way.
Gilbert, kick out for Hotop.
Taking a lot of time on offense are the Greyhounds.
No hurry at all. In the corner, Hotop will kick it back up top for Darren Hall. Now back to Hotop on the right wing. Gilbert hounded by Strohsnyder. Step back, then goes down the lane. Another tough finish high off the glass.
Yeah, and with the smile on his face from Tremar Gilbert, he knows he can do that all night long if they allow him to get to his spot.
And another offensive foul. This time it goes against Kaysen Meeks, the sophomore in transition.
Peaster, they are drawing those charges. They recognize that when the Eagles are trying to penetrate, they are just sending a man down to set his feet and not allow the easy layup. Not going for the shot, but going to attract the offensive foul.
Love this comment from Carrie Ellis, says that her Greyhound sons are sitting with her Eagle nieces at the game tonight. Says, what a rivalry. Go Hounds, she says.
Love it when it's a family affair, right?
Right now, Peaster is doubling up Brock, 32-16. 10 on the night from Tremar Gilbert to lead the way for the Greyhounds, and he's hunting more right now down the lane. Tough shot again. This time he can't finish.
Yeah, sure. And I'm sure for the Eagles, they are loving that. And Lavender goes up and gets the shot to fall. Boy, the Eagles needed that.
Austin Lavender in transition off a great look from Braden Carter Ditto. A chance at the and one here, and that could carve the lead back down to 13. Can we get one more look at that one? Because this was a pretty look up ahead. Beg your pardon, it was Zach Lewis who made the delivery right on time and on target to Austin Lavender. He lays it in plus the foul. And with the free throw, the lead is down to 13.
Yeah, Austin Lavender, coach's kid. So he's probably getting coached up 24/7.
Into the lane, here comes Gilbert once again. I'm shocked that that wasn't an offensive foul, as is the entire Brock side. Ends up in the hands of Canifax. His triple misses short. Saved it back in bounds, though, to Hank Morris. Back in the corner, Canifax for three. No. Rebound pulled down eventually, and now a timeout called by the officials.
Looks like Strohsnyder.
It's Strohsnyder that is being taken off the floor right now because he caught a nose full of the shoulder from Tremar Gilbert. I'm shocked that that wasn't an offensive foul.
Yeah, it wasn't. And hopefully, looks like it's his nose or his top lip, but he definitely got the worst of that contact.
It will be Brock basketball.
You got both sides here in the gym screaming for calls.
Kick in the corner, three on the way, misses short. Hotop gives him the corner for Morris. His three will go.
And those easy buckets right there for Hank Morris. And that's another one. Hotop creating the turnover on that side. Love right now the energy from the Greyhounds. They've taken that initial barrage from the Eagles and responded in kind.
Our officials were huddling up there for a moment to talk things over. But it will be Peaster basketball on the baseline off the great defensive play by Hotop. And it's back to a 16-point lead for Peaster. Gilbert straight away, down the lane, block.
When Stroh-Snyder's not in the contest and he's not going to be on Gilbert, that is going to spell disaster for this Eagles defense, because Gilbert is just too quick a foot, and it's just so easy for him to get to a spot in the lane.
Gilbert makes the first. He's now up to 11 on the day. And make it 12. Gunnar McElroy checks back in place of Darren Hall. The lead is 18 for Peaster.
And here's the press right now from Peaster to add insult to everything. They're going with the full court press and just making matters more difficult for the Eagles.
Knocked out of bounds by Peaster. It will remain Brock basketball. Stroh-Snyder yet to check back in just yet, but he's not being tended to any longer. The freshman Matlock drives baseline, cross-court feed, three on the way, will go for Austin Lavender.
How about that? Lavender sitting in his spot there on the three-point line and knocking down the shot. A double foul being called or just a warning?
Timeout now called by Brock's head coach Zach Boxell, but I think it was a warning for, I think it was Gilbert as well as Braden Carter ditto. They were getting into it a little bit underneath as that ball was on its way in, and very quickly the officials got on top of that and made sure they knew that they'd at least drawn the attention of Michael Woodard, one of our officials tonight.
Yeah. And it definitely letting them know that he is not going to be allow any of that foolishness. This is a rivalry, and these are two teams that are separated by what, 20 miles or so. So
just a little over 20 miles.
Yeah, yep. Just a little over 20 miles. So both of these teams are very familiar with one another, and sometimes when you play someone at least 3 times, you get used to them. You know those battles, and hey, you can tell these guys have a personal vendetta with one another right about now.
The lead is 15 right now for the Peaster Greyhounds, 37-22. Past the midway point of quarter number 3, and if Brock's going to make a run, they kind of need to start it pretty soon here.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it's going to start with them knocking down those 3-point shots, and you saw Lavender do exactly that, and that's what they need. They need threes.
Somehow that ball ricocheted back into a Greyhound's hand, but the shot misses, and back comes Brock. Lavender to Matlock, the freshman. Still no Sawyer Stroh-Snyder back on the floor. Pocket pass, Lavender finishes, offensive foul. Austin Lavender can't believe the call. Take another look at the replay. Hard to say based on where the replay began there, but.
Well, look, Gunnar McElroy does have his feet set, and you don't have a marking down here to see, you know, was he inside of the circle. So either way, we're going to go with the official. The charge was called.
It stays a 15-point game. If that call had gone the other way, they could have carved it as little as 12.
And that is a bucket that they needed, did the Eagles.
Good ball movement, ends up with Tremar Gilbert in the lane. Tough finish.
Oh, how do you stop that? How do you stop that? I mean, Tremar Gilbert is really getting the ball, and he is off balance when he goes up for the shot.
Just getting hounded and finishing anyway. He's now got 14. Lavender, hands off. Matlock, back up top for Lavender, the sophomore. Still no Sawyer Strauss-Snyder on the floor.
Yeah, the Eagles have got to get quicker, get shots up quicker. Right now, this plays into the hands of Peaster.
Matlock, 16-footer, misses long. Offensive rebound, though, on the backside. The putback won't go, but the third try will for Pittsford. McElroy sends it back up top for Canifax. Into the lane for Gilbert. Double team. Brock fans wanted to travel there. No call. Back to Gilbert. Tipped away. Back to Hotop. Under a minute, third quarter.
I'm looking for Brock to extend this offense out to the three-point line.
Hotop's three missed long, but the offensive board, the kick out, another offensive board. Blocked, though, is Canifax.
And that's good defense by the Brock Eagles.
Kaysen Meeks with the swat. Baseline, 12-footer, misses long. Foul on the rebound, I think, is going to go against Gunnar McElroy, and it's going to stay on this end.
Yeah, and I think Gunnar McElroy, he can see by the look on his face, he could not believe it. They're both going up for the ball. I guess they're going to say that Gunnar McElroy got a little bit of his wrist.
In fact, the foul went against Tremar Gilbert.
Okay.
That is just his first. But it's a baseline inbound for Brock with 27.4 in the period. Underneath, the layup won't go for Carter Ditto, and here comes Gilbert in transition. 14 seconds left. Nice look underneath for Hotop. The pump fake, but it's blocked. 9 seconds left. Brock has to hurry. Lavender takes a look at the clock. Down to 4, down the lane. Nice look on the back door, and the layup will go right before the third quarter buzzer for Kaysen Meeks to cut the lead to 13.
And how about that? For Austin Lavender, not rushing with 9 seconds on the clock, getting down to his spot and getting that ball inbounded. Boy, this fourth quarter is going to be interesting, Mike.
Composure from the sophomore Lavender to set it all up, and we head to the fourth on Saturday Night Hoops.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
A 7-2 run from the Brock Eagles to end the third quarter and cut the lead down to 13 as we head to the fourth.
Boy, was that just what the doctor ordered for the Eagles to go on a bit of a run. They needed that really badly, but tell you what, got to give credit where credit is due to number 2, Austin Lavender.
They're going to need the run to continue here early in the fourth.
Yeah, the sophomores come in and had an impact.
Sawyer Strossnider back on the floor, stripped away but gets it back. Now he'll get it back on the right wing and pop for three. Misses short. Offensive rebound for Pittsburgh. And the putback will go.
How about that? Pittsburgh. Pivot spin, goes right back up to his spot.
Number 11 makes it an 11-point game.
And this is the equivalent of they're still going with this offense, with this half-court offense, and they were running and gunning in the first half. And
had it blocked.
Great block.
Zach Lewis with the block. Now he'll run the break up ahead. The foul drawn by Strossnider.
Yeah, I wanted to say, for Peaster on offense, they're going to the equivalent of a prevent defense, if you will. Just the way that they've been slowing it down, they got to continue the flow. 7 minutes here, and you're going to open the door to let them back in and come as close as they've been this whole game since the open. They could cut it down to 9. I think we've expected this game to be much closer, and we're on our way.
A second attempt here from Strossnider. 1 for 2, and the lead will stay 10. The run, though, is now 10-2 for Brock. The double team nearly knocked away. Nice job by Hotop to stay composed and find an open man on the far side. It was Morris.
Well, I tell you, when Hotop left his feet, I swear I didn't think he had an outlet pass to go to.
Knocked away, though. Stolen again by Zach Lewis. A chance here for Brock to get back within 10. The layup won't go.
They got to get this ball past half court. And timeout called by Short. Boy.
The lead had gotten as big as 18. It's back down to 10 now, and Stan Short does want to talk things over just a little bit more. 2 games so far this season between these two teams, both decided by just 1 point. And it's interesting, in talking with Stan Short this week, he said it's just going to come down to who has the better night. He said especially in basketball and especially in high school basketball. And then you add the accelerant of hardly any practice time all week long.
Right.
It's going to just come down to who has the better night. So far, it's been his team.
It has been. And the way that they came out, they were playing so aggressive. It's what they were setting up on defense, doing a lot of things early in the paint. They've gone completely away from that. They're going with a bunch of perimeter passes and then working it down into the into the paint. As you pointed out, in high school, there is no shot clock, so there is no need to hurry if you have the ball offensively. You can hold it as long as you want to, as long as you're, making a move towards the basket.
.620 to play in the fourth out of the timeout. Lead down to 10. Hotop into the lane. Dumped it off for Gilbert. Last touched by Brock. I think even Tremar Gilbert thought he might have been the last one to touch that ball.
I guess for everybody here, I thought that he did because the ball went right into his gut. But obviously, Strossnider got a bit of that ball.
6 minutes to play. Hotop hounded, threw it away. Brock basketball.
Yeah, Hotop thinking that Hank Morris is going to go back down to the baseline and just threw the ball away. But like you said, the Eagles are coming out. You can see just the burn in their legs. These guys are squatting down and getting onto the defense.
Strossnider into the lane. Kicks in the corner. Lavender for three. Yes, sir.
How about that for Lavender? This guy's come in and has made sure that he has impacted this game.
His second three of the second half, and the lead's down to 7. And now it's really gotten loud here at Brock. Inside for Gilbert. Can't finish. Numbers here for Brock if they hurry. Lewis down the lane. Offensive foul.
I don't know if I've ever seen a game with so many offensive fouls called or a team that draws as many offensive fouls as the Peaster Greyhounds do, but they do a really good job of it.
That is a momentum-changing moment right there because Brock was building to a crescendo, and if they were able to find points there, cut it to 5, maybe 4, the roof would have come off this place. Now it's tamped down at least for a moment. Cross court, knocked away.
Bad pass from Jaron Canifax. Hadn't made many mistakes, has the junior, but that was a cross-court pass that was not. I'm sure Coach Short will talk to him about that tomorrow.
Strohsnyder with the crossover, dumps it off, pump fake, and the layup will go for Lewis. Timeout stands short. It's a 15-2 Brock run to cut the lead to 5.
They've just worked so hard, Mike. They really have, and you've seen them dig in on defense. They've started out with the half-court sets, those traps that they've created. And right now, it just seems like the Greyhounds are out of sorts offensively, and that hadn't been their MO this entire game. They've had a lot of great rhythm going. They've relied heavily on Tramar Gilbert to get down into the paint and get shots off. But I tell you what, the sophomore, Austin Lavender, the guy that really got that 15-2 run going with the fast break points, you see right now this sophomore is having an effect on this game and knocking down a big-time three-pointer. He's a guy that they can't allow to get comfortable to find his spot.
15-2, the run for the Eagles. The lead down to 5, and at a timeout, it is Peaster basketball. They have scored just 2 points since a couple minutes left in the third quarter. We are now approaching the midway point of the fourth. You talked about how they've slowed down their offense. It feels like that has had a negative ultimate impact.
I called it the prevent defense, and we know the prevent defense will get you, to prevent you from winning, and there it is again, another turnover.
Pittsford with the steal in transition. Lewis, the pull-up 14-footer, it goes. They call the foul after the bucket was made. The basket counts. It's a 3-point game.
And right on cue, 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. This game has tightened up.
They cross the timeline. Midway through the fourth, the lead is down to 3. Another trap. They get away from it. Gilbert leaves it on the back door for Hotop, the layup and one.
They get the and one, and also the guy that we've talked about getting this 15-2 lead going, this break going, and they catch Austin Lavender as he raises his hands and asks the question, what did I do?
Hotop with a chance to extend it back to 6 with the free throw here. Rattles off.
Now up by 5. To just see what Peaster does defensively. They've got to continue to dig in. They've impacted this game a lot on defense. Getting out in transition, but also making sure that they stay on these shooters. As
Lewis
you see
in trouble. Taken away. The steal by Darren Hall. Hall fouled.
And that was a great steal by Darren Hall, and just his ability to take it coast to coast and also draw the foul. Talk about them slowing things down. Darren Hall said, nah, I'm not going to do that, coach. I'm going to go to the glass and try and get some free throws.
Misses the first, though. We just saw a free throw missed by Jack Hotop. The Brock student section trying to get in his head. It's a 1-for-2 trip.
And I love the aggression right now by Peaster, just not allowing them to easily bring the ball up the floor. They've got to stay engaged defensively.
Nice look underneath for Strohsnyder. Kick out. Lavender for three again. He's got another. What a second half for Austin Lavender.
They better get a body out there on number 2.
Knocked away again, and again it's Zach Lewis with the steal. What a defensive second half for the point guard. A chance to tie. The three from the freshman misses long for Matlock.
Yeah, you got to ride the hot hand. You got a guy over here that is scorching hot right now, and that's Austin Lavender. Ride that hand.
That's going to be a carry every time, and it is. And it's Brock basketball again.
One thing the Greyhounds cannot do is implode offensively, and that's they have a look about them right now that they are imploding.
It was 37-19 Peaster. Since then, a 20-5 Brock run. They're down 3 with 2.5 to play. Can they find the equalizer? Strohsnyder leaves for Lavender again. He's got another one. Austin Lavender, hot as could be. Tie game.
If there's going to be a three-pointer taken, I want it to be Austin Lavender.
Blocked from behind, but a foul. And Tremar Gilbert to the free throw line for 2.
And this is where knocking down free throws are very important with 2 minutes left in this game.
And if this game hasn't followed the exact script that both coaches told us we should expect tonight. Big early lead for one of the two. Big comeback. Gonna come right down to the last few possessions at the end of the game.
That's why I'm not surprised.
And in a very loud gym here at Brock, Gilbert misses the first. It is standing room only in here.
Yes, it's you can tell everyone is excited about this matchup. And it's gotten loud, Mike.
Gilbert silences the Brock fans momentarily with the free throw. Peaster back in front. Brock has not led in this basketball game at any point.
I have a feeling that's about to change.
If they give the ball to Austin Lavender.
Yeah, give the ball to number 2.
And if this doesn't speak volumes, Tremar Gilbert now guarding Austin Lavender.
Yeah, that's usually where he is, on the best player.
Lewis sets the offense on the far wing, spins his way into the lane, rattles off.
Oh, that ball was in and out for Zach Lewis. Man, you can't ask for a better look at a shot than Zach Lewis just had.
Gilbert gives in the corner for Hotop for 3. Jack Hotop with a big triple.
Boy, Hotop needed to knock that one down. That was a shot that the Greyhounds wished for. They had gone into a bit of a slump, and they needed Hotop to knock that shot down, and he does just that.
Hotop, number 4, makes it a 4-point lead once again for the Peaster Greyhounds.
Wow.
1:17 to play. 19 fouls against Brock, only 3 against Peaster. That could be a factor here in this final 77 seconds.
No, absolutely, it probably will be. So you got to look for that, and that's a great thing to point out. For me right now, if I'm Peaster, I don't slow this down. I continue to try and get my shots off in the lane. They're finding their shooters. You allow Tremar Gilbert, when you see him get the ball, watch how many Brock Eagles converge down on him. His ability to use his vision to kick the ball out to find those easy shots. You've got to allow number 2 to do that for you, for the Peaster Greyhounds.
Out of the timeout, Brock basketball. Zach Lewis, the point guard, can run the baseline. The lead back to 4 for Peaster.
They better get a body on Austin Lavender.
Stroh-Snyder driving down the lane. Lefty layup won't go. Gilbert with the rebound. Under a minute left now. And Peaster can kill some time here. Brock's going to try and foul. They can't. The layup's going to go for Hank Morris, and the lead is 6.
How about that? Brock is trying to get a foul, and they can't. And Morris just slices through defenders to get the easy layup. Hadn't seen that happen much.
44.4 seconds left. Timeout called once again. But the lead now up to 6. Still just a 2-possession game, which matters. And if there's one positive for Brock of that last sequence, it's that it at least happened quickly.
Yes.
If you were going to get a foul with 46 seconds left, obviously you would love for them to have missed a free throw or two. But other than that aspect, 44.4, there's still plenty of time here for them to do something with it. But now they got to kind of have everything fall right for them.
No, and that's right. And I'm sure if you're staying short, you're asking yourself, you want to see a bucket go down, but you recognize that you have the possession and you have time on your side. That may have been the opportunity where you kind of pull back and get, a good shot. Maybe once you milk about 30 seconds off of that clock.
So Brock ball once again, but now down 6 and just 44 seconds left. Lewis to throw it inbounds.
They've got to get a shot off pretty quickly here. They cannot try and get into a half-court set. They've got to get this up quickly.
Matlock leaves underneath for Stroh-Snyder in the layup. Lead down to 4, 25 seconds and moving. No foul yet from Brock. Cross court, nearly thrown away, but a good catch by Canifax, and he's fouled.
Now, how important are these free throws right now for Canifax?
The junior guard, Stan Short, said he's the hardest worker he's coached in 23 years as a coach. First free throw misses short. Peaster's going to pull all their rebounders off of the free throw lane.
Smart move by Short.
A 1-for-2 trip. The lead is 5.
Got to get a quick shot up. There it is. Get it over to...
Matlock's going to take the 16-footer, misses short. Rebound pulled down by Peaster. Down to 9 seconds left. Have to foul, and they do.
Brock had an opportunity right there. They just needed to get a shot up quick.
Tremar Gilbert can sense it now, though, coming over to the Peaster student section and firing them up. 6.9 seconds left and a 5-point lead.
Hey, don't tell me this isn't a rivalry. My gosh.
Brock battled all the way back to tie it at 42, but could never take the lead. And Peaster made just enough plays here at the very end. The lead now 6. 1 here would make it a 3-possession game, and it's already out of reach realistically, but he does miss the second. Here comes Lewis with 3, fires the 3. That misses long. And what a performance from Peaster, building up an 18-point lead and then having to hold on for dear life down the stretch. Brock came all the way back to tie the basketball game, but Peaster made the plays, Heckma Harrison, in that closing stretch to get the win and in district play proper, get the sweep of Brock.
Yeah, and they did it basically just setting up their defense and working off of that offensively. They had so many things go right for them in the first half. But boy, in that second half, they slowed the pace down, and I think that was what allowed the Eagles to get back into this game. But not only that, it was some hot shooting from Austin Lavender, which I'm sure we're going to talk about, but there was so much that the Greyhounds did in that first half that made it look as though this game was going to be out of reach for the Eagles.
The Peaster student section chanting, "This is our house,"
I love it,
on Brock's home floor after the girls and boys from Peaster sweep the doubleheader tonight here at Brock High School. 50-44 the final score on the boys' side, and a lopsided final 73-30 in favor of the girls, and that was a real shock. This game, though, Heckma, went exactly, as we mentioned before, to the script that we expected. One team jumps out to a big early lead. The other team comes all the way back and makes it razor close at the finish. But it was Peaster that made those plays right at the very end that won them the basketball game. And I'm trying to think back through. The three from Jack Hotop in the corner is really the play that kind of put this game away.
No, it really did, and it was all set up there by Tremar Gilbert's ability to penetrate and look for the shooters on the outside. He did that several times. But look, Hotop, he was hot. He had plenty of, knocking down threes, mid-range jumpers, and for both groups, boys and girls, they played so well offensively. The job that they did knocking down those shots, man, this has just been a complete display tonight by the Greyhounds. And look, this men's basketball, this boys basketball game here to end things was everything that we thought it would be.
Trying to look back through and tally it up real quick. Tremar Gilbert, if my math is right, finishes with 15 on the night to lead the way for Peaster. They now move to 23-5, 10-0 in District 8 3A play. And the final few games for both of these teams in district are games that they're expected to win by significant margins. These, for both the boys and the girls side, these are the two best teams in the district by a pretty significant margin. So these games were going to be what decided a district championship here in 2023. And it turns out to be Peaster that's going to take both of them.
Yeah, and they've met up in a tournament, in a district game, and now this one to decide things. And how fitting that you just had so much back and forth between them this entire time. But I really see that Peaster is a very talented team. They have a bunch of talent. Jaron Canifax as the floor general, just getting things started for these guys. But man, Tremar Gilbert did not disappoint. His ability to get down into the paint, get easy buckets, also get rebounds, and also defensively guarding the best player on the other side. We saw several times where he was switching off on players, whoever got hot, and he ended up on a guard, Austin Lavender, to end things.
Yeah, Tremar Gilbert very clearly is different.
Yeah.
Especially for this level of play for 3A basketball. You can just look it on the floor real quick, you can tell that guy's a different athlete than everybody else that's out here. No disrespect to anybody from Brock or anybody else from Peaster, but I think even they would probably tell you Tremar Gilbert's just a little different than the rest of us.
I was going to tell you that they probably agree with you. They would co-sign the same thing and say, man, Tremar Gilbert is just different, but he is. I mean, he's so big and so physical. And if I had any critique for his game at all, it's just that, look, he played the entire game. I think he sat on the bench for 30 seconds. And so it's hard to give a critique from a guy that played that many minutes. But, he's the best that they have. He's just got to stay engaged the whole time. But one complete wonderful night defensively and offensively from Gilbert. But so many other players on their team really had an impact. It did Hank Morris as well. Jack Hotop, as you mentioned him. Gunnar McElroy. McElroy several times in this game came up with balls that were coming off of the glass, and he one-handed them back up, but also defensively drawing charges also. This Greyhound team, like I said, they're the best at drawing charges that I've seen, man. They opened up a clinic on offensive fouls.
Peaster opened the game on that 17-2 run and really controlled the entire first half off the strength of that, led by a dozen at halftime. But then it was the Brock 22-5 run. They were down 37-19, and this was late in the third quarter. and then just turn this game on its ear in a blink. And a lot of that was, as you mentioned before, Austin Lavender. He hit 1, 2, 3, 4 3-pointers, including back-to-back there midway through the fourth quarter to take what was a 42-36 Peaster lead and erase it and bring this game finally all square at 42 apiece for the first time since it was scoreless. But I think at some point you put that much energy into coming back from 18 down.
Run out of gas.
At some point you're going to run out.
Yeah, you run out of gas. And I tell you what, Austin Lavender's calming effect on this offense. You see it. They didn't have a lot going there. Get it, Lavender. Calming. Anyway, his ability to get things going. And offensively, they just didn't have a lot. We opened up the first game. We opened up the boys game. And I'm hearing you say, man, this feels like deja vu because the Eagles just didn't have anything going offensively in that first quarter. It, to me, bigger than just Austin hitting those three-pointers, he was looking for other guys. He led the break, got the ball to Zach Lewis, and that's what absolutely started that 15-2 run that you were talking about.
Yeah. Good to get a look at just kind of the atmosphere here even after the game. This is a full family affair. It's 10 after 9 at night, and we got little 18, 20-month-old little girls running around the gym. How long until we see her on the court playing here? I'm not sure if that's a Brock kid or a Peaster kid, but chances are decent at some point, maybe, 15, 18 years from now.
Absolutely. Hey, and I know somebody that has a little one at home that probably needs her out here on the court running around to get some of that energy. Also, Mike Leslie.
I can't help it, man. I'm a sucker for little kids at this point. I really am. Yeah. What a performance, though, from Peaster, and just to kind of use that as a way to kind of put a pin in all of this. Obviously, it starts with Tremar Gilbert, but Canifax played a really nice game. Jack Hotop hit some really big shots and some key points early on in the game to help them build that lead. And then, of course, the three-pointer late that effectively put this game away. He didn't have 30, but he was still really good.
Yeah, he was on his way, and it looked like it from the time that he knocked those first shots down. I was like, oh, Mike, I shouldn't have said anything about that. This guy's coming out on fire. But you're right. Jack Hotop, man, had himself a fine night, not only knocking down those shots, but there's nothing – I just really can't say enough about the way that the Greyhounds played defensively, drawing those charges, getting those defensive rebounds. They did a really good job. I mean, and just getting the break started. So much about this was about trying to, fight through those pick and rolls, and it seemed like the Greyhounds were more committed to it on their side tonight than did the Eagles.
In a game where the final score was 50-44, nobody was going to be scoring 30. However, 13 from Hotop and 15 from Tremar Gilbert. The two of them carried them offensively.
No, they did, and they had to. But they came out with the hot hand. Hotop knocked down a few threes, but you know what? Like we said, Tremar Gilbert and his presence inside is no wonder he is talked about in 3A basketball as he is.
We got spoiled tonight with a pretty cool atmosphere out here in Parker County. The two programs that make Parker County what it is at this level, and they battled out. Especially this boys' game was a really special treat.
No, look, man. Mike, golly, man, this is so good. They talked about it, they hyped it up, and they said about how this rivalry was, and a lot of times it doesn't end up living up to all the hype that's surrounding it. No, this is absolutely that. I'm telling you, this is a packed house. You look at that parking lot outside, there is cars lined up down the street to get into this building, but they did not disappoint. Everybody came out with their A game, and just the Brock Eagles just ran out of time.
And I don't think they know that we're putting them on television right now. So nobody's going home. Apparently nobody wants to leave. So it was a cool experience.
They're waiting
tonight.
to get your autograph.
It is definitely not that. We do appreciate you guys being with us tonight here for Saturday Night Hoops for our entire crew. Director Clay Marshall, photographer Graham Rayner, digital coordinator Paul Wedding back in-house, our graphics coordinator Emil Miralda, who made a Tuesday Night Hoops package, a Thursday Night Hoops package, a Saturday Night Hoops package. We already had a Friday Night Hoops. We've basically almost got the entire week now covered thanks to Emil Miralda. He put in some work this week as well. And the one and only Heckma Harrison alongside. I'm Mike Leslie. Thanks so much for watching tonight. Good night from Brock, Texas.